Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank both of you for being here today. Very important topic because unlike any other law in our country, election integrity is something that has to be proactive. It doesn't work if it's reactive, right? Because when you look at, let's say, a general election for Congress, that happens the beginning of November, the presumed winner is going to take office within a matter of days, a couple of months after. So if you find out that someone was ineligible to vote and they voted, you can't undo it, all right? It's something that you must be proactive if you're going to have an election system that has integrity. That's one of the reasons Georgia did what they did in 2021, a very proactive system to ensure the eligibility of the voter prior to them voting. Secretary Schwab, if a voter is registered to vote in your state but a resident in another state, are they considered an eligible voter?
Not necessarily, because we don't have a residency definition. It's very loose. So you could live in another state 80% of the time, but you also live in Kansas 10% of the time, and you want to register to vote there. That's completely illegal.
But I'm talking about the residency. They're a citizen of another state. They're a resident. In other words, they're registered to vote in two states.
There's not a way for me to do it without Eric, but again, there's burdens and costs that come with that. But there's not a document that says, I am a resident here. You're registered to vote there, but that doesn't necessarily mean, that's where these residency rules are just so fluid. What defines a resident is different between each jurisdiction.
So if somebody lives in Kansas, they permanently move, let's say, to Florida. They keep their voter registration in Kansas. You still consider them a registered voter? An eligible voter, I should say.
Well, if they're registered in Florida, no. And so what we do is we do the national change of address.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Right. What about in Minnesota? Somebody lives in Minnesota, moves to Florida, they register to vote there. They're still registered to vote. Do you know that they've registered to vote in Florida? Do you have a way of determining this?
Yes, Representative, yes, we would hope so, right? I mean, if they're a member state of ERIC, we absolutely would, but even if they're not, given the databases that we run all this information through, including change of address, there's a good chance we would discover it.
Okay, so you guys do your voter roll maintenance. Okay, that's one thing that has been a huge issue. I am concerned a little bit about the vouching process. So you mentioned that only eligible voters can register when someone vouches for them. Is there a way of you qualifying their eligibility at that point?
Just to clarify, Representative, are you talking about the person doing the vouching or the person who's vouched for?
Both. Okay. I assume that the person vouching already has to be an eligible registered voter, right?
That's right.
Do you have a process to ensure that the ones they're vouching for are eligible?
Yes, Representative, yes.
What is that?
That's all at the local level logged, basically. The person signs an oath, there's a log in place for the person or people that they're vouched for, and then after the election, that enables the folks at the county level, at the local level, to do that spot checking to make sure that they're eligible.
How much time passes between them verifying?
Days, maybe a couple of weeks, it depends. It depends on the county.
So are they, the ballot that the voters that were vouched for, are they provisional ballots?
No, because we're NVRA exempt, we don't do provisional ballots in Minnesota.
So if you find out that they weren't registered voters, their vote still counts?
Theoretically, that would be the case.
Do you not see that that's a potential problem?
Well, I think it's a balance in that vouching is only for residency. So as to the two things you need to show to prove to register to vote in Minnesota. You are who you say you are, and you live where you say you live. It's still on the voter to prove that they are who they say they are, through ID, through all sorts of things, and there's a long list that we allow. It's only the live where you say you live part. So so for example, it might be possible that someone is an eligible voter. They're a citizen, they're 18, all the rest, but they don't live where they say they live. They voted in the wrong place. That's certainly possible. But vouching only pertains to residency. No one is vouching for someone's citizenship, age, or anything else.
Even if they're maybe a felon?
They're not vouching for that either.
Okay. I'm out of town. I yield back.